Ali, inside mic I'm not getting. Inside mic is not working. Alright, we're all set to kick off our semi-finals for C.I.GEORGE 2022. It's Varun B taking on HariHaran on table number 2. So a little bit of extra spin on that break-off, but it's worked out in his favor. Fantastic. Pressure immediately on HariHaran. HariHaran from the Pavan Sports Club and Cultural Association from Hassan. Finds himself in a spot of bother right in the beginning of his frame. Varun's break off just about clipping the pink and finding the cue ball behind the brown spot. Right, judging the speed to perfection there, HariHaran. He has played a number of matches in this tournament, so he does have the role of the table. He knows the speed very well, and he judged that to perfection. Pretty good safety shot there by HariHaran. On table number 1, we have the other semi-final, the M versus Jay Krishna. This is going to be a best of 5 affair. The semi-finals and finals going to be played here this evening at the East Cultural Association. Wonderful safety there by HariHaran. Had very little room to play with there, but just made good contact with the bunch and was able to bring the cue ball back into balk. So it's been a good start here for HariHaran. Putting his nerve under pressure. First opportunity there for Varun B. Wasn't able to convert that. He has had the run of the ball in this short duration so far, getting away with that as well. Just goes into the center. Difficult cut to, but it's almost a shot to nothing. Can make sure the cue ball stays right here in the balk. Varun B from Bangalore Snooker Academy, BSA as it's popularly known as, one of the new hotspots of snooker in Bangalore. They have been producing some new talent the last couple of years since their inception. Varun B is one of them. Snooker overall in Bangalore has been getting a lot of attention, and it's heading in the right direction with a number of tournaments being held on a regular basis. And a lot of inter-club activity happening as well. Lots of players here participating in this tournament, representing their clubs. Not as per plan that time by HariHaran, cashing the bunch a bit too thick and not able to find the way back into balk. Another opportunity here for Varun. But these were difficult balks when you just start off a match, just trying to get your hands going, the adrenaline flowing, as they say. So a couple of opportunities for Varun B right in the beginning. Another opportunity, there goes a begging for Varun B. Like I said, that was a difficult pot. The pockets here at the ECA Club Shender tables have played very, very tight. So first opportunity here for HariHaran to put some points on the board. He does have a handicap of +7 from Varun B. extremely well. Like I said, the balls have favored Varun B in the semi-final so far. Early stages though, but it all counts. Good opportunity here where the balls are placed. If you can just drop this pink in, he has a couple of options that he can go for. Well done. There's very little room there for him to cue, so he's done well there to drop the pink in and hold for the red. I'm not sure if the black goes in the right corner, but if he can screw back here for the blue and try to build a break from there, I think this is a very good opportunity. Screw back this red, try to come back for the blue. Could have placed that better by himself if he had to play that absolutely perfect. Great angle now to go down towards one of those reds and clear the reds. Maybe and get the black in play if he can. Oh, he's missed a sitter there. It happens so often when you're taking up that blue and looking at where the blue ball is going to finish. Take your eyes off the pot. Chances are you might end up missing that blue. Exactly what's happened there. And he's left HariHaran with an amazing opportunity here to capitalize in his very first frame. Semi-final is going on here. C.I.GEORGE, the Handicap Snooker tournament of 2022. Just has to make sure he finds the gap between all those reds for the black. Trying to see which one actually works out positionally for him. Both the balls are equally easy. It's the positional aspect of this particular shot that he's worried about. He needs to get it right. This is a good opportunity here to put some points on the board. Put some early pressure on his opponent. He's had a fantastic run in this tournament so far, HariHaran. Stretch to the max here. I think he's done well. Just have the black in the left corner or the right corner from where you guys are seeing it. Just has to drop this in. Nothing fancy. Probably cannon the red wedge above the bunch. Hold for the two reds in the left corner. Opportunity here for HariHaran. That's played well, perfect. So in case he doesn't have the angle on this red to hold for the black, he can play down to the blue. Just making sure that he keeps his break going. A little bit check side to hold for the black would be a good idea. So that's the best he can do in that position. Tricky black. Wouldn't be on him, but yes, just a little more difficult than the previous black. He's done well again. Little cannon there once again on the bunch to hold the cue ball, keep it in play, keep it towards the top end of the table. This is looking ominous for Varun B. Early points on the board. Played that well in the end. Nervous queuing there, but understandable. It's the early stages of a big match, semi-final. He's done well so far, holding his nerve, converting this break. It's looking fantastic for him so far. Once again, queuing beautifully there, coming off the cushion, holding for the red. This is all looking like a very, very good break. 24 points on the table, on the board for him. The break is 24. He's looking good for the board here. Highest break of the tournament as of now is 51 by Sean Davis. This is a good opportunity for HariHaran. once again, HariHaran back to the table with another opportunity to pile up some points, increase his lead. He's already got a 20-point lead. C.I.GEORGE Handicap Snooker Tournament of 2022 started on the 8th of May last Sunday, and we are down to the final. Not a very good shot there by HariHaran. He's looking to scoot back, missed that red. But he's okay, he's got some points on the board. Should be looking at a nice safety here. Has the option of just clipping that red very thin. If he can leave the ball anywhere behind the green and the brown, I think he would have done well. Once again, judging the speed very well. He's been at the tables for the last 1 week. He's played 5 matches to get to this stage of the tournament, so he knows the speed of the tables very well. Pressure showing on Varun right now. Another error from him. Not sure if he's gotten away with it. There is a red that goes down to the right corner, but it's not a given pot. Although HariHaran has been potting very well this match so far. He has the confidence, he has the points on the board as well. This is a very good opportunity for HariHaran. This is a tricky one. If he is important, he's going to leave something on for Varun to avoid the camera at that time. Would have played a little better. Unforced error there by HariHaran. But he's okay, he's still in control of the balls. Can once again play good safety to put pressure back on Varun. Hasn't really had the best start so far. It's been a nervous start for Varun. Making a couple of judgment errors, missing some easy pots. It's okay, this is the best of 5 semi-final, so long way to go. I'm sure he's going to be looking at finding his form somewhere down the line. Just maintaining safety, as they call it. Trying to leave the cue ball tight to the black. Give your opponent a Chinese snooker. So easy pot available here. The option for him probably is to take on this red into the center. Try to leave the cue ball behind the yellow. He's done that. He's missed the ball, but he's fine. He's done well there. He had the natural angle to get the cue ball down towards the ball area. Covering the other red with the yellow. He's done well. Semi-final number 1 underway on table number 1. Krishna from ECA taking on the M from ESA. Extreme Sports Academy, founded 12 years back, located in Nepal. They've produced some great snooker players over the last few years. ESA. Good looking pot there for Varun. Finally able to drop one in. This is a good chance for him. Needs to hold his nerve here, get his concentration going. So need to get his hand moving. Still plenty of points on the table. He's just 28 away, so not really too far behind as far as the score is concerned. Got a good opportunity here to convert this into a sizable break. Try to reduce that lead. We haven't really seen too many big breaks in this tournament, but you know, it is a tournament for players who participate at the club level, and Shot coming up here for Varun. It's a good angle to finish on the red that goes to the right corner. To go into the bunch right now. He can use the yellow to follow that red as well. So played that well. That's a good angle now on this red to once again drop down towards the blue or any of the rock colors. The pink also towards the block end. So having to play with the rest just makes this shot a little more difficult. Doesn't really have to do much with the cue ball. So that too hard, but the end of break, but has an opportunity to put HariHaran in some trouble here. Just want to push this behind the pink, rather the brown. He's played that very well. It's not what he tried to do, but still has managed to find that snooker. Down to 15, HariHaran on 20s, so rather 41 and Varun on 26. HariHaran just trying to clip those reds, not disturb them too much. He has that 15-point lead now, cut down to 11. I'm sure if this is the right play by Varun, because you've got 4 balls here at the block end. HariHaran has a good chance here to bring this cue ball down to the block end. This is not the right choice of shot by Varun, I'm afraid. He can find himself in some trouble here if this works out. There you go. Wrong choice of shot by Varun. And HariHaran capitalizing on that. He's a good player, a good young player, has been in the circuit for a decade and more. Was in the junior state ranking events about 10 years back. Still has a very, very solid game. As well to make contact with the red there, Varun, but he's handed another opportunity to HariHaran. At the club level, it's more about mistakes that you make. The players that are able to hold their nerve and make lesser mistakes more often than not finish up on the winning side. It's not so much about potting ability at this level, it's more about playing the right shot, choosing the right ball to play, not making unforced errors, which HariHaran just made there. Just a bit too hard there. It's another opportunity for Varun that failed to capitalize on. Points on the table still, so a long way to go in this frame. Oh, that was a good attempt. Played it as a shot to nothing. Controlling that cue ball very well. Once again, he's done that on a couple of occasions in this frame, being able to bring the cue ball back tight to the cushion, almost tight to the cushion, and has been able to put some pressure on his opponent like he's done there again, creating an error. Just tight to the cushion, top cushion, that he can play off, but it's a very, very difficult Has to make sure that he gets this red and follows it up with a color. Crucial juncture in this frame. Just 11 points between the two players. I think he's finished well, he's done well. The red closest to the left top pocket goes. If he can play this blue well with a little bit of right side and bottom, he can go for the red. These are important points towards the end of the first frame. So control that well a little bit more. Right side would have helped. We'll have to pull the rest out and use the extension, which doesn't really help. It's going to be a difficult positional shot from here to be able to finish, but I think the black goes into the center, so he can play for the black into the center, which probably would be the right choice of shot. Just have to play this with a little bit of top ball, left hand side, roll off the cushions. Difficult shot. Did well, but just a little shy of pace. It's good to see that a lot of players on the circuit now look to play the right game, the right shot. The knowledge of the game has improved tremendously over the last couple of years, with so much snooker action available on the internet. A lot of players able to pick up the nuances of the game, watching the likes of Sullivan and Judd Trump. It's pretty evident in their game nowadays. A lot of players knowing the right shot to choose. Fortunate for HariHaran here, able to see this red. A lot worse. Done well. And he's that red, which is okay. That's part and parcel of the game. Sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. Cutting down the lead to just 5 points now. So it's down to the colors. Two options here for Varun. Does he take the green on, or does he try to drop the black in to fall for the yellow, which is a natural angle. It's a visible pot though. It all depends on how he's feeling and how he's cueing. Focus on the black bottom pocket. Fantastic shot there. Didn't really worry about the positional aspect of the shot, wanted to make sure he got the 7 points. Increase his lead. And he's played that well. Hasn't been able to get the snooker, but it's a safety shot. Just increasing his lead to 12. Important 12 points with the colors on the table. Yellow, green and brown to see in the first frame, barring snookers. Once again, just about getting away with that HariHaran. Good attempt by Varun. Once again shown there by HariHaran, playing that very well. Just has to to get past the yellow, green and brown, put the first frame on the board for himself, forcing that mistake by Varun. Hasn't really left that yellow on, so now safety shot coming up. This is going to be a safety battle for at least a couple of visits. Go down to the wire in this tournament. Being a handicap tournament, this is probably one of the best results that you can go for, that most matches finish up in deciders, and in fact most deciders actually finishing off with just being at the back of the table. So the handicaps have been pretty good, have been favouring the weaker players. We've lost out on all the seeds in the tournament. So the semi-final here being played by 4 players who've been some big names in the tournament. Sean Davis is out, Rohit Ravindran, KS Naveen, former state champion, also not being able to produce the kind of snooker he would have expected. Vidya Pillai lost along the way. So we've had a lot of good players not been able to produce their A game, and unfortunately losing out also because of the handicap, and which is the handicap tournament is all about. Good opportunity here for HariHaran to put the first frame on the board. Just needs the green and brown. Good angle on the green, but we'll have to come off 2 cushions. It's taking a little bit of time here to decide which is the right shot here. Really just drop the green in and play for the brown rather in the center. Oh, that's so fortunate. That's just an example of how the balls have worked out in his favor this first frame. He's also played well. He's produced a good game so far, and he deserves balls to go in his favor. So here's frame ball coming up for HariHaran. Does well to just make sure he balls the brown. And now barring snookers, it's going to be 1-0 HariHaran. So has to make sure he doesn't do anything silly from here. Oh, another fantastic looking pot there. Just about seals the frame. I'm sure Varun's not going to come back to the table if HariHaran isn't able to pot this pink. There's a lot of points that HariHaran is leading by, so he's done well to finish off a fantastic pink as well. What a fantastic start here for HariHaran. Finishing off frame number 1 with a 20 break. And leads the semi-final 1-0. We'll be back in a bit. Right, so it's going to be HariHaran to break the second frame. He leads 1-0 in the semi-final, best of 5. That's a good looking break. Keeping the cue ball in behind the brown. He does have this red. dropped it in behind one of those reds. But anyhow, first mistake here by HariHaran gives Varun the first opportunity. He had a few opportunities in the first frame as well, which he didn't capitalize, but this is a good chance for him. Black unfortunately tied up, doesn't go in any of the pockets, top pockets rather. Just checking to see if the pink goes. As long as he's not straight on this red, if he is, this is not such an easy positional shot. He's done well there. I think he does go into the center pocket. This is going to be a tough shot. If he's able to convert this pink, then he'll leave himself. Right, that goes into the right corner. Fantastic shot there by Varun. Trying to pop that pink from that position. Never easy. Pink spot not available, so next best spot available was the brown. She doesn't have a good angle here on this red to throw back from blue. She's not striking it as well as he would have liked. Varun so far in this match hasn't been able to produce the kind of game that he has produced in this tournament so far. He's done well so far to get to the semi-finals, but still a little shaky in this semi-final, and HariHaran making the best of Varun's mistakes. He has looked the better player, and once again the ball favouring him. Snooker gods definitely want HariHaran to win this match, at least as of now. In the early stages of this match, HariHaran leads 1-0, and he has had the balls go in his favour on more than one occasion, more than a couple of occasions so far. This is another result, or another example of that. Taking the pink on, just has to drop this pink into the centre pocket. He does have the red just left of the pink spot that goes, but it's a pressure pot. Definitely leave that red on if the pink doesn't drop, which he has. So Varun comes back to the table. Not much damage done. The handicaps that the players are playing with, HariHaran with plus 42 and Varun with plus 35, so his opponent 7 points before the start of the frame. Varun he has covered up those points. Now he's on level par with HariHaran. This pink, just using the extension. These are different pots. Done well there. It's a good looking pot, and also successful in holding position for the red. Not sure if he has a path back to any colour from that angle, which makes this red pot extremely difficult. He could probably just roll the red in and try to leave it, but he's trying to force his way out. No, he's done well. I think he had a little more room that I could make out there, so he's done well. This is another good opportunity for Varun. Quickly get his A game back, Varun before it's too late. This is a best of 5 semi-final. His opponent leads 1-0, so this is a very crucial frame for me. He doesn't want to be two frames behind. Cueing that very well, HariHaran. He has struck the ball beautifully this match so far, and controlling that cue ball very well so far. Not sure if he has an angle to go down towards the reds, but can guarantee himself a blue pot and a stroke back for a little bit of difficult red into the from this ball, so just have to hit and hope, and that's worked out well. Missing all the reds there and coming down towards the block. There's a little bit of fortune there, which has gone Varun's way in this match. He won't complain. He hasn't had the run of the ball so far, so this is the first one that goes in his favor. Right, so let's see what he can do with this opportunity. Not really in the ideal position, so just have to play the safety shot here. All these points count. Just giving himself that cushion of 8-point lead so far. Like I said earlier, it's not a tournament for the high breaks. You're not going to see centuries, you're not going to see 50s and 60s, but yes, you will see the odd 20s, and you will see one of those odd red balls, which has been played here by HariHaran, a fantastic looking long pot, playing that with a lot of topspin, making sure he got the cue ball back into block. Unfortunately, he's finished straight on the yellow, so no angle, nothing to do, no room to work with as far as the cue ball is concerned. Could also just push the cue ball behind the brown and try to create an opportunity for himself, which is what he's probably trying to do. Or is he going for the brown? I think he's going for the brown. Not the right play here, according to me. So he was always going to leave some reds on. He's been a little fortunate here, hasn't left anything on. But the green and the brown at the bottom of the table to give an opportunity to Varun. Absolutely no idea what he did there, but there's an opportunity for HariHaran to get that cue ball in behind the green and the brown of 2 cushions, maybe 3 cushions. Let's play that too hard. C.I.GEORGE Handicap Snooker tournament in its 8th edition. We've had record participation here this year. 80 players participating in this tournament. Like I mentioned earlier, we've had some of the top players from the state who were in action here, but unfortunately lost out in the early stages. Francis Joe from East Coast Association as well, who's in the top 4 in the 6 red snooker rankings. Unfortunately losing out in round 2. KS Naveen as well losing on round 2. We also had Santosh R from ECA, who's ranked in the top 8, 4 and 5 in fact in the 6 red and the 15 red state ranking categories. Players here finding it difficult to get past some of the weaker players with handicaps. The only way that a player here has an opportunity or a chance to win his match is if he can produce the big breaks, if he's able to put the 40s and 50s on a consistent basis. And if not, they're always going to find themselves in trouble, which has happened in this tournament so far. So here's another opportunity for HariHaran. Varun is looking pretty shaky throughout this match, so not making the right shot choices. So that one, let's play that one. Maybe just one rule lesser would have been better. He's finished on the blue. fortune for HariHaran. It's been all HariHaran so far in this match, at least as far as snooker gods have been. And HariHaran has capitalized on each of those occasions. Here's another good chance. Right in amongst the balls now. Had a good start in the first frame where he had an early 30 break, and here's another opportunity to extend that lead. He has played well whenever he's got the opportunity, and whenever he has the run of the balls, he has capitalized on that. So here's another example of the opportunity being handed over to him, and he's on a 21 break. This looks good for some more. Just making sure he has the angle on that black. Looks like a pretty tight angle. We'll have to wait and see. Get stun off the cushion. Taking on this difficult red. So another good break by HariHaran. He's played that fantastically well. He has queued well in this match so far. He's definitely looked the better player. That one not turning out as per plan. Not finishing off the cue action correctly at that point of time, and unable to screw the ball behind the red. So it's going to be end of break. It's been a good break. 37, highest of the match so far. And he's played a good safety shot as well, putting pressure back on your opponent. Has a 30-point lead with 53 on the table, or on 51 on the table. Shot that one. Played that well. Controlled the cue ball very well there. He has to capitalize on this opportunity given to him, or rather the opportunity that he's created for himself by potting that excellent red. And now another thing being pot, but he's just gone a little too far. Made this back pot more difficult than he would have liked, and also going away from that red. Oh, he's done very well. That's a brilliant looking shot. Has covered the red with the black, but don't really see any great difficulty in making contact with the red, but would have liked to finish better. So hit that well. Just a bit too much pace on that. Another chance here for HariHaran. Thin cut into the center. And it could be 2-0 in no time. Just has to make sure he gets the spot. Natural angle to go back on towards the top, towards the wall pink. It was a much more difficult shot than it looked. Has he gotten away with this one again? Yes, he has. Varun can put some pressure on HariHaran by playing a good snooker here. But the red was on, and he's done very well to pot that. There'll be a twist in the tail here in frame number 2. He's 15 points behind. He does make this black pot, and a natural direction, angling towards the yellow. Apart from the brown, which is a little closer to the cushion, this looks a very, very good opportunity for Varun to clear up here and clear up the match. This is a good angle on the green, perfect angle on the green. Just needs to make sure he drops the green in. Unfortunate there, tight pockets, but going in his favour there. I think no damage done. He's cut the lead down to just 6 points. HariHaran leading by just 6 points. See that green, which made the shot a lot more easier for HariHaran to put pressure on Varun, but unfortunate this time. Throws a couple of inches more than he would have liked. Once again, a wrong choice of shot there, trying to force the green in. Never easy when you're queuing over another ball. He's fortunate that he's gotten away with it, but definitely not a shot to take on at this stage of the match, this stage of the frame rather. Just 6 points separating the two players. Would have played a good safety shot. It's always important to try and create an opportunity by playing the right shot, waiting for the opponent to make a mistake. And here's a mistake by HariHaran, an unforced one. Left a good angle on the green to come down on the brown. This is where the mettle of a player shows if he's able to convert this green. I think he will have a good chance to finish this frame, but easier said than done. Those balls are never easy. Potting into a blind pocket. And timing the ball is essential when you're playing those kind of pots. So that mistake by HariHaran not being penalized by his opponent. And here another opportunity for HariHaran to play off two cushions and create a snooker opportunity for himself. Put pressure back onto Varun. Just catching the jaws in the center pocket. Very easy opportunity this. Very, very missable these balls. And once again I would recommend that he just play the safety rather than taking the green. Which he does. But he hasn't really got that well, gotten away with that. Still showing on Varun. He's behind by 1 frame, so eager to win this frame and put some points on the board. Put the 4th frame on the board, level up the match. So important moments in this frame, in this match. HariHaran does end up winning this frame. It's 2 up. It's going to be a difficult task for Varun to come back. It has been a tight frame, this one. HariHaran doing very well to have that 37 break and extend his lead. That hasn't really worked out. A little unfortunate that the green is finished on top of the pocket there. Once again, cue ball tight on the cushion, so not a really easy ball, at least positional, from the positional aspect. That's the best he would probably do from there. We'll look to play another good safety here. He's played that very well. He's played that excellent. Once again, but going HariHaran's favour. shot here by Varun. Excellent shot here by Varun. Judging that pace to perfection. Not a very difficult snooker to get out of, but just gives the advantage to Varun. He hasn't played that well, HariHaran. This is probably one of the few unforced errors that he's had throughout this match so far. Leaves a free ball. Varun can just tuck this cue ball in tight behind the black. It's done well. Once again, not a really difficult snooker to get out of, but we've seen that you can make that error in judgment. He's done well there, but he's pushed the red to the pocket. A little more luck going his way. HariHaran, that could have been a lot worse. So just 1 point between the two players now. Varun in the lead by 1. Lots of safety coming into play here this time. Once again, Varun doing very well to leave that cue ball in behind the blue. Create another snooker. Has he gotten away with it, HariHaran? He's done well. That round's finished just about okay. Anxious moments in this frame now for both players. Just 1 point separating them. It could go either way from here. And as I mentioned earlier, it's about the player who makes more mistakes. It's the one who finds himself in a spot of bother. The idea is to eliminate the mistakes from the game as much as possible. Oh, that's just missed the brown. Didn't really do much wrong there, HariHaran. Played it with the right pace, just wanted to finish it behind the brown. Unfortunate that he didn't make contact. Another good shot there. Making the right shot choices now. Like a couple of instances in the past where he didn't. Just keeping his mind stable, the temperament going, making the right decisions. Nice crossed up safety shot here by HariHaran, very well judged. In the other semi-final, he has convincingly won the first frame. Leads the semi-final 1-0. In the second frame by 17 points against C.I.GEORGE from ECA. C.I.GEORGE does have an opportunity to level up. If he can clear up the frame, he just needs pink and black to win frame number 2. As we come back to our match on hand. Another excellent shot there by Varun. That wasn't easy, queuing up from tight to the cushion. And I think that cue ball is finished well. So finally, ball going in his favour, the run of the ball going in his favour. Good shot there by HariHaran. Didn't overhit it. So C.I.GEORGE clearing up there in semi-final number 1 to level up with Murthy. It's 1 each in semi-final 1, and we've got a closely fought battle here in semi-final 2, HariHaran versus Varun. Just 5 points between the two players. Varun leads by 5. chance for HariHaran to get his cue ball in behind the pink, and if he can get the round down towards the block area. Oh, that kiss on the black is not what he wanted. Has left this brown on. I wouldn't say it's a gimme, but it's definitely on. And he does have the angle to go back for the blue. Just catches it a little more thicker than he would have liked. Blue's anyway tight to the cushion, so it's never going to be an easy pot, so it's just going to be a containing safety here for Varun. Just increasing that lead in this frame. He is up to 9 points now, so it's just a one-ball game for Varun. We just need a blue. HariHaran will need all 3 balls to win this frame from here. It's been a brilliant shot there, HariHaran. It's a good safety shot. Varun does well to leave that cue ball in the place that it is. Not really too much damage done with that double kiss. So chance here once again for HariHaran to play the cue ball in behind the black. Make sure gets the blue up towards the top of the table. He's done well there. Another good safety shot. It's been a good battle here this second frame so far. Both players playing some excellent safety shots. Just goes to show that both players do know the game well. Another double kiss. Has he gotten away with that? This is a 50-50 chance. But just needs this blue to see in this frame, barring Snookers. He's done well. Was an error from HariHaran and Varun capitalizing. So now leads by 14 with 13 on the table. Pots the pink and gets the second frame. So it's 1 each in semi-final 2. Varun does very well to equalize. We'll see you after a short break. frame number 3 kicks off. Taking that difficult red on, getting away with it, hasn't really made any damage there. Just having to stretch over the cue ball, over the bunch of balls there, making that shot a little bit more difficult than it was. Chance here for HariHaran to attempt this red with a shot to nothing, but don't think he fancies it too much. Taking on this red. Never easy when you have to force those red in. And again the cue ball finishing up favorably for HariHaran. He would have been in trouble in case the red had gone in. No other choice there for Varun, but just pushed into the bunch. Just clarifying there with the referee if the ball was touching. Apparently it isn't. Varun doing well in frame number 2 to square up the match at 1-all. Had a bit of a shaky start in the match, not able to capitalize on the opportunities, and HariHaran has done well to play that double and hold the cue ball for the black. So once again gets the first opportunity in frame number 3. Does have one more red in the open, which is close to the center pocket. Stun around from 2 cushions to come down for that red. And the other one that's tied to the left cushion is a difficult red. But one color at a time. We'll have to make sure he pots this black in and stuns off for this next red. He's made the best use of all the opportunities that have been handed over to him by way of mistakes by Varun or by the way of good fortune. This time he hasn't capitalized. Just a little bit of pressure there as the third frame starts here. HariHaran must be still thinking about the second frame that he could have won with that 30 break, 37 good break, but ended up on the losing side in that second frame, so that does always play on your mind. Another opportunity handed over to HariHaran. This red cuts thin into the center pocket. Have to make sure he avoids that in-off though. Did well. And all of a sudden, things just not going HariHaran's way. I think he played that pot way too hard. Didn't really have to hit that ball that hard. And Varun putting HariHaran back on the table with this difficult red pot, but it's maybe wasn't on. And this is the second time in this match where Varun V has put HariHaran back onto the table, where he could have actually played a safety shot and put pressure back onto HariHaran. Nevertheless, taking this red on. Hasn't really worked out the way he planned. He wanted to make sure he got that red thicker and found a way back towards the top end of the table, even if he did miss the red. Ended up catching the red too thin. HariHaran plays for the Pavanputra Sports Cultural Club. Sports and Cultural Club, I should say, from Hassan. Has been in the junior ranks in the early stages of his career. Leaves a difficult red here for Hari. I think he's going to take it on. There's a lot of value attached to this red pot if he is able to make this. It does have the blue and the black available. Not really timing that ball that well. So there's a little touch of pressure showing on HariHaran in frame number 3, which we didn't see in frame number 1 and 2. He was queuing a lot better, but that's how the game goes, you know. When you end up losing a frame that you probably should have won, you just start letting that work on your mind, and I think he will have to switch that off, focus on the game. He has queued well, he has played very well in this match so far and in this tournament. Another unforced error there by HariHaran. Should have tried to play a cannon onto this red from the other red, but chose to just go in behind the red, misses it altogether, and leaves a good opportunity here for Varun. Not where he wanted the cue ball to be, but it's finished perfectly well for him. That's not as planned. Was playing for the blue or the black, but he's finished very well on the pink. And the right on top of the bunch does go. And in potting this red, he will also release a few more reds, so it's an important red pot this. Not really sure if that red goes. I think it doesn't, so we'll have to play the red, which is down towards the balk area. He has taken on the difficult pots and hasn't really converted too many. There once again, opting to go for the difficult pot and making that unforced error. This red is a bit too straight for Hari. Does have a little room to play with, I guess. Bounce off 2 cushions. That's probably the best that he could have done from that position. Could look to go for the black into the center pocket. Might end up cannoning the blue, which is not what he would probably want, so just in between the choice of shots here. Could drop in the green and then look for a safety. Opts to go for the black. Just overcuts that. But he's okay. HariHaran does have a cushion of a 7-point handicap that's given to him from his opponent. seven seven important points that are crucial when it comes down towards the fag end of each frame. Another error there by Varun. Not really, almost like a nothing shot there. He has handed quite a few opportunities, HariHaran, in this match. That's a good shot there by Hari. But all he's going to be content with is a red and a black. There isn't really anything on, so just needs to make sure he drops this black in and plays a good safety shot. Just going to try and collect those points on regular occasions. Just a couple of reds and colors are crucial when it comes down to towards the end of the frame. The 15-20 point lead, if you have going into the colors, is all you need. Catches that too thin. But he's okay. Once again, a difficult red available, but this time Varun refuses it, chooses to go with the safety option. But he's just been hitting the ball too hard. That was nowhere close to where the cue ball should have finished. Had no reason to hit that ball that hard. These are the few elements of the game that probably end up making you finish on the losing side. So this red goes into the middle. Pressure pot though. Doesn't really have to do much with the cue ball, just has to drop this red in, or goes for the aggressive route. Does well, finishes very well on the blue. Just on the wrong side of the blue this time, but it's okay. He does have an angle to work his way back towards the top. Opts to just drop the blue in, go in for a little more difficult red, which is fair play, no problem. Like I said earlier, all you need to do is make sure you convert those colors. Keep adding to your total, one ball at a time. Difficult red pot with the rest. Could get away with this one. Hasn't really left anything simple. The two reds that are tied together, probably one of them does go into the left corner, but they're not easy. Varun does well. Also does well to make sure that he gets his cue ball back towards the blue. So that's an excellent shot. Not just to convert the pot, but positionally as well. Just played that very well. Finished on the right side of the blue as well. So a good opportunity here for Varun if he can put a few points on the board. Get a good break going from here. The reds are placed beautifully. A little nudge on those two reds, no harm done. He does have these two reds closest to the black that pot. So we'll have to just keep his nerve and convert this into a good break. Does well to drop that black in. Just hoping that he's on that red closest to the pocket, which I think he is. That was skewed very well. Screwing back nicely for the black once again, and now has an angle on the black to bounce off the cushion for another red into the same pocket. Probably didn't have enough angle to bounce off, so opts to go for the more difficult red. This time I think he does have an angle where he can just drop this red in, finish on the black. This is a good break so far. He's done very well. And that one not dropping in. Probably not the right choice of shot for me. The black should have stunned in for the other red, but opt to go for the more difficult red. Now finds himself in trouble. Hari has another opportunity handed over to him. Could have done a little better with the cue ball there. So the angle that he has on the black, he will have to screw into the two reds to hold the ball, hold the cue ball from getting away, which makes the pot a little more difficult and also risky, because if he does end up missing the black, he will leave an easy opportunity for Varun. But that's the aspect of the game that you need to work on. Eliminate those dots. Opts to go for the pink instead. This is a more difficult pot than the black, but maybe more value in terms of position. He's done really well. Good positional shot there by Hari. Good confident stroke and good cueing there. He has to be careful of the brown. Very, very close to that brown, but I think he's okay. He's done well. He's done well. So this is another good chance here for Hari. He's covered up that lead once again that he had handed over to Varun. So this black puts him in front by 5 points, by 6 points in fact, and he's still on the table in very good position. Has been very good among the balls here this afternoon, Hari. Whenever he's been among the balls on the top end of the table, he has capitalized. He has put on those breaks at crucial stages, and as I say that, he goes ahead and he makes a mess of that one. Just got up too early on that shot. These are the errors that cost you towards the end of the frame. 7 important points that he's missed out on. He's also given his opponent an opportunity to get some more points on the board, so you need to put your head down, concentrate harder. If you need to win matches, you got to pot those balls. Oh, fantastic pot there by Varun. He's looking definitely more confident now after having won that second frame. He's looked a lot better since that win in the second frame. He's been striking it well, but he does tend to hit the ball a bit too hard on occasions, which makes the pot a lot more difficult, and also doesn't end up controlling the cue ball as much as he would like. So that's an aspect of his game that he really needs to work on. Ball striking. A lot of players need to know the importance of timing the ball well, just like you do in cricket. Even in snooker, it's very important that you time the cue ball well. Hit the cue ball in the sweet spot every single time. And every time you hit the cue ball in the sweet spot, you will get the desired result more often than not. So timing always plays a very important role in the game. Scores level in the third frame at 44 apiece, with two red balls on the table. 43 points on the table. Still a lot of points for both players. Hari does well there to bring this cue ball towards the box side. This is a difficult pot. I think Varun will take it on. He has been taking these reds on, but he's going to wait and see if he misses where he leaves this red. He's gotten away with it. He's also pushed the brown and the blue to the cushion, so it's going to be a longer frame than we could expect. It was a good attempt there by Hari. It wasn't an easy pot, but he wasn't going to leave much on even if he missed. So here's a chance for Varun if he can get this cue ball in behind the pink. Oh, goes for the double instead. Does well, converts. Has a difficult pink pot. He has been the aggressor in this match, definitely taking on the more difficult pots. On this occasion, he's done really well to pot that pink and come to this position where he is. Unfortunately, a couple of extra rolls there, that hasn't helped. So, but he does have the opportunity to now put Hari into some trouble. If he can screw in behind the green, just needs to screw this ball, 3/4 ball behind the green. It's just worked out in his favor in the end. Has managed to keep that cue ball behind the yellow, and a pressure shot coming up for Hari. That ball was always getting away from him. So crucial points given away. 11-point lead here for Varun. Another difficult pot. Gonna wait and watch whether he takes this on. He does, and he successfully pots that as well. Fantastic looking pot there. He's definitely looking good now to win this frame. Good speed on the cue ball there. Would have liked to be on the other side of the yellow, but he's fine. He just needs to drop this yellow in. He should be okay. He's played that a lot thinner than he would have liked. And here's another easy opportunity for HariHaran to close this frame. Just 16 points behind, except for the blue, which is not in a very favorable position. But he needs to think about it when he gets there. But the yellow, green and brown there for the taking. The twitch in queuing once again. The pressure showing clearly on Hari. I think Hari needs to just sit himself down, recompose, focus once again. He's just putting himself under tremendous pressure, and which he really doesn't need to. He's playing very well. He has cued very well so far in the match. He needs to stop worrying about the mistakes and just continue with the game. I know it's easier said than done, and that's one of the aspects of the game that a lot of players at our level, at the club level, find themselves under pressure most of the time, and that's when you make the mistake. The C.I.GEORGE Handicap Snooker tournament, open to all clubs that are affiliated with the KSBA. Among the very few handicap singles tournaments in the city. There's a lot of snooker activity going on in Bangalore. A lot of club events happening on regular basis. So a lot of snooker happening. Varun doing well there to swerve around the brown. But he has left this yellow on. And the green is also in a very portable position. But this is easy for HariHaran, at least from the way he's been feeling over the last couple of shots. It's clearly visible from his cueing action and his body language that he's put himself under a tremendous amount of pressure. 16 points ahead. Varun just needs the yellow, green and brown to seal frame number 4, or rather frame number 3, to go 2-1 up in this match. He was 1-0 down, so he's done well to come back strongly in this match. And although HariHaran has looked the better player in this frame, he hasn't really produced the kind of game that he has been producing in this tournament. The funny thing about this game, sometimes it just switches off, and you got to do really well, refocus your mind to get your game back. And you're also helped sometimes by the opponent who gives you a good opportunity. You got to capitalize on those. If he pots this, he's going to give himself a lot of confidence, much needed here. He's done well. That's going to give him tremendous amount of confidence. At least for the last couple of shots that he's played, he's looked low on confidence. This is really going to help that. Doesn't really have to worry about the blue right now. Should just focus on making sure he pots this brown and then try and play a good safety on the blue. There's no reason he should look at creating any kind of position on this blue. Just has to worry about this brown pot. Put some points on the board. He's done very well there. Played that very well. I think he's fine here. Just leave the cue ball off 2 cushions behind the pink. Play a quarter ball on the blue. Leave the blue. Oh, he goes for the double option. I'm not sure if that was the right thing to do. He's gotten away with it. Unfortunately, not the right choice of shot in this situation. Well, it would have looked great if it went in. Another opportunity handed over to HariHaran, free of cost by Varun. He has made a lot of unforced errors in this match. He has gotten away with a few, but he has been punished for a few as well. So here's another opportunity. A thin cut into the corner pocket. Cue ball going towards the pink. Those are not easy. Potting into a blind pocket, especially under pressure. Those shots are very, very difficult. I'm not sure if this blue passes the black. Oh, it did. It was a great effort. Once again, unfortunate for Varun where the blue is finished off. So here's a chance for HariHaran. He's 7 points behind. He will need all 3 balls here to win this frame. But this is a really good chance for him. Just played that a wee bit harder than he would have liked, which is understandable, but he's okay. This is makeable. It's not easy, but it's makeable. And he also has a natural angle, so he doesn't really have to do much with the cue ball here. But these are very difficult under pressure, and you could see that just getting up halfway through his stroke. Varun just needs this pink to win the frame, and he's going to go for it. That was agonizingly close to going in for the in-off, and once again he has left the pink on. Pressure moments in this frame, and this match in a very, very critical position right now. Another overcut by HariHaran, and this time he has left an easier pink than the previous one. Although nothing is easy when you have to make the pot to win a frame, but I wouldn't put this past Varun. I think this is his best chance to win this frame, and he's done well there. So frame number 3 goes Varun's way. He's done very well to come back strongly in this match and now leads the match 2-1. We're going to see you after a short break. Don't go anywhere. can we do 2? Finals also 1. Come on, Hari. Right, the semi-final going all the way down to the wire. It's 2 frames each. It's going to be Varun to break off in the final frame. That's a good looking break by Varun. Leaves the cue ball right in behind the brown. HariHaran had a good 4th frame, pulling one back, leveling the match. Obviously he has to bring in that confidence of winning the 4th frame into this frame. There's only one mic available. Come, we can switch. Both players will have to hold their nerve here to go past the finishing line. It's been up and down kind of a battle, this one, with HariHaran taking a lead towards the start of the match, where Varun seemed quite out of sorts, but then he was able to come back strongly. Lucky once again HariHaran, and he didn't go into the bunch. Varun taking on this difficult red. But he knew that the other 2 reds weren't really portable in the corner pocket, so almost like a shot to nothing. So with this red now towards the back end of the table, makes the safety play a little more difficult. I'd like to welcome my fellow commentator Tilak Raj, thanks for joining me, Tilak.
It's a pleasure, Shasha. It's always a pleasure to be here with you guys. I must say this has been a wonderful tournament, and I see the billiard room has been spruced up beautifully in at ECA. Wonderful playing conditions. I've been here in the past, and I must say by far this has been the most ideal playing conditions that ECA has provided here for this tournament. 2-all in the semi-final. Looks like a cracker. And I think Varun, from what I understand, playing a lot more frequently, but his approach to a lot of shots have been inconsistent. His pre-shot routine has been a little off the mark. Hari coming back after a long break, a little more composed, I would say, in his approach and his shot, but potting consistency has been very poor with him. So sort of a evenly balanced match. 7 handicap, which is really nothing. So we're down to the wire. Yeah.
Another let off there for HariHaran. There was a good opportunity for Varun, but
It's another poor shot there, I think.
HariHaran needs to really focus now. This is the business end of this match. He'll have to make sure that he doesn't make the errors that he made in the last couple of frames. We'll have to try and eliminate the errors. That was a good opportunity for him to take a sizable lead in this final frame.
Again, you can clearly see how Hari has been, out of the circuit, and he's coming back after a long hiatus, and his shot's not so confident and rolling. He seems to be confirming colors rather than that shot on the black, particularly the previous opportunity that he got. I would have seen the opportunity to maybe go into the bunch and open it up, and purely the lack of confidence making him just drop the black in and pretty much shot to nothing.
On a couple of occasions, we have seen that from Hari, but he also has been amongst the balls and produced those 30s whenever he had the opportunity. So he's going to keep that in mind, and whenever he gets back onto the table with a better opportunity, he'll have to convert. Unfortunate here for Varun to have lost the cue ball and finished up where it has.
Yeah, I mean this is the time. This is the frame for both the players to bring their A game to the table, because there's not much time left in this match. It's 2-all, 15-9, and before you know it, it'll be down to the color balls, and it'll be almost over. So time for these guys to pull up their socks, focus, and keep doing the basics in the right way, and approach the ball and think through their shots. I think it's very important. What do you say, Shash?
Absolutely, absolutely, Tilak. I mentioned earlier as well that at this level of the game, at the club level, it's more about lesser mistakes.
Yeah, there you go.
So another unforced error there by Hari. Just the real lack in confidence. Showing clearly and very evident in his cueing action, and it's going to end up in favor of the player who makes lesser mistakes rather than the player who's going to go ahead and convert a 30-40 break. I don't see that happening, but I do see the player who can hold his nerve and make lesser errors.
I completely agree. This seems to be one of those games where both of them are under unnecessary pressure and undue pressure, in my opinion, because neither of the other players has made a prominent break to put the other player under pressure. They just seem to be faltering, and there you go, another one. It's unbelievable. They both seem they need to gather themselves. This is not what we expect in a semi-final, but it's pressure, gentlemen. A little bit of cat and mouse again, Sash. And
We could end up in a re-rack here.
absolutely, this looks like one of those. I'm not going to give you an kind of frame, and it's going to be push and push and push. There's an opportunity for Hari to sneak out of the bunch there.
But
Yeah, with the loose red down the table.
the unfortunate single red down towards the balk area is one of the reasons why we're getting to watch this play right now. And I think the referee will have to intervene in a couple of minutes from now to see whether or not we continue with this. We have the match referee, the tournament referee, Mr. Kishore Khurana, who's just around the corner at the billiard section, and we will have to take a call on that. We will have to bring in Kishore to decide whether we continue with this and for how long we continue with this. But it still is, I think it's just about opening up now, gradually. The reds being pushed out, and I don't think the necessity of a reframe is something on the cards here, because the reds have been scattered a little bit more now. So I think here Varun is going to push out and try to leave the cue ball somewhere down where he doesn't leave this red on. Somewhere tied to the left cushion is what he's looking at doing. Yeah, that's pretty much what he could have done from there.
I think he's maybe given him himself an opportunity opening up. I think Hari is going to stick this one back in there. Yeah, may have opened up the red to the center pocket. I'm not too sure if the angle is on, but soft safety play are going to be in motion here now. Meanwhile, in the other semi-final, Murthy beat Jai Krishna 3-1. It was the scoreline doesn't suggest a closely fought contest, but it definitely was. Murthy taking the first frame 60-17, losing the second one 50-51, winning the third 56-41, and then the final frame at 55-37. There, Varun missing that opportunity and presenting Hari with a regulation red and black, and maybe get a chance into the reds now. Let's see what he can do.
I would try to play for the brown, and in case you don't finish well on the brown, you go for the black. But he's okay. I think he's done well to finish well on the blue. The red doesn't, the black rather doesn't guarantee you position, because he's going to run, the cue ball down towards the blue, which I wouldn't, want from here. I think if he's in a more favorable position on the blue, and if he can clear that red out towards the left corner, I think that would probably be the better shot. But because of the confidence and the lack of it, rather, he just wants to confirm the 7 points rather than play anything that's positional. There you go. If that cue ball doesn't run enough, he's not going to leave himself a position on that red. I think it hasn't run enough, but I'm not sure if the red that's closest to the pink passes. But these are the opportunities right now. A couple of colors, a 25-30 break is all you need at this level to win matches. And I think the blue would have been a better choice for me.
Absolutely the right shot to play. The blue would have been the perfect shot to play. Maybe get into those reds a little bit, open up those reds, and then, like you said, Sash, a 25-30, in my opinion, at this stage of the game would have pretty much sealed it for Hari. But like you rightly mentioned, the lack of confidence not allowing him, his hands are just not moving that freely, and he seems to be battling a lot of things in his head. He's a lot of question marks there, and I'm sure he's second guessing himself, because he's coming back after a long break, and now he's just confirming colors to stay ahead in the points, and hope this goes down to the color balls and then drag it down to as late as possible.
To his credit, I think he's done phenomenally well in this tournament,
Right.
and has capitalized and used his handicap to his advantage. Plus 42 is a good handicap, and he's used it very well throughout the tournament. He's taken out a couple of very good players along the way, and he's down here at the semi-final in a crunch position. And I think I see him playing a couple of good confident shots, and if those spots work out, that's going to bring him back into the zone that he needs to be in to be able to go past the winning line here. He does have a 13-point lead, which is critical. A good 13-point lead going into the colors would be very handy. Unfortunate by Varun, he's been taking on these difficult pots, and unfortunately just about not converting them, getting close enough, but close enough is not good enough. Got away with this one.
Striking the ball a little too hard, Sasha, for your liking?
At most times, that's one of the flaws that I did witness in his game is about his ball striking ability, the inconsistency in his ball striking, which is quite evident, and he does tend to hit the ball a lot harder, which is a very a normal thing to find when you know players who aren't trained, who aren't coached. You do see that aspect of the game lacking a bit of you know the finesse, as I would put it. And this game is all about finesse.
Absolutely, and
Snooker and billiards.
yeah, that's a great observation actually, Shash. Because the previous frame, I was watching a couple of shots, and I could see he was and another unforced error from Hari. I don't think he has left too much open for Varun, but
This red goes.
it does. Center pocket is on.
Thin cut, but the way the reds are placed.
I think if he makes this red, he's going to land the black end.
Yeah. The way these reds are placed, this is a very crucial pot in the game, I think. If he's able to pot this, I think Hari is going to be in trouble. Oh, he's gotten away. He's been really fortunate as well, Hari. And I think he needs to make use of that the luck and the snooker gods have been on his side, and he has to make the most of it. There is a red that goes into the corner pocket with a natural angle for the black. It's a tough pot. It's a pressure pot, but it's a match-winning pot, according to me. So this time it's HariHaran's turn to put this red ball into the pocket and almost seal the match. The way the reds are placed, beautifully placed. If he can just convert this red, I think he's going to be in a good position for a 15-20, maybe even a 25 break, extend his lead, and close out the frame and match. So let's see. This is a pressure pot. Can he gather himself here? It's easier said than done, Tilak. We've all been through this.
I know, Sasha, and I've been watching both these guys, and I feel for them the high pressure that they're going through as well. He's done well. He's landed the black. He needs to gather himself, focus.
Another difficult black pot.
Absolutely. I think
Doesn't have to do much with the cue ball on this occasion. He's got a natural angle and a red, which is right at the center pocket. So just has to give 100% attention to the pot. Not worry about where the cue ball is going to finish. Oh, he does brilliantly well. Didn't want that nudge on the blue. Didn't want that nudge, unfortunately. But I think he's still okay. He does still have this red portable. So he's doing well here. He's kept his composure so far. That was always going to be getting
a clear indicator of the way he's cueing, Sasha. He got into the shot, he lined up, and from what he was feathering, it was such short feathers, not ensuring that the line of the shot is right. And that's been a concern for me with both players. Their pre-shot routine has been a little off the mark, and the approach to the ball is so crucial. I would say 50% of the shot is right there. And most players at club level falter to focus on their pre-shot routine. The potting skills are fantastic, but the pre-shot and building a break is something that it's been an area of concern for most players at the club. If you watch him, see, this was, in my opinion, a decently approached shot. But the same consistency does not come into every shot that he's playing.
another good opportunity. It's been like a pendulum, this frame so far. It's gone back and forth. Hari was given the opportunity. Now he's handed the opportunity back to Varun, who's done well here to quickly grab it. Has 8 on the board for himself. Has this difficult red. Nowhere close to the pocket. Just the nerves jangling here for both players. It's like I said, going to boil down to fewer mistakes. Another difficult red pot coming up. These are all value shots. If you can convert this red, you know that you're going to leave yourself in a good position. The blue is on. The bock colors are easily portable. So need to convert these reds right now. Need to back yourself. Talk to yourself that I'm good enough to convert these. Just playing that with a little bit of tentativeness. Could have stunned that a little more. So he does have this blue. He does have the blue. Just needs to make sure he converts this blue. Doesn't worry about the positional aspect of this particular shot. Right now, all he needs is one red, one color at a time, even that is going to put him across the winning line.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Sash. I think at this stage of the game, 15-point lead is very handy with 6 reds to go. As much as he's on a color now, every little point will make it tougher for Varun and add to the pressure that he has in this game. Again, Hari gathering himself, taking his time. Nicely done. Very well struck. That is a shot. That is a confident shot for me, Sasha.
And the result shows.
Absolutely.
Just a couple of extra rolls there, unfortunate, but he played the right shot.
Absolutely right.
He still is in a position of advantage if he can leave this ball tight to the bottom cushion, which he's done very well. He has been judging the speed of the table right through this match to perfection. That's the part of his game that's been actually pretty good. It's when he has to convert the positional aspect into breaks is where he has lacked a little bit of momentum, and the confidence levels have been low. But when it came to safety, his safety play has been spot on, and that's one of the reasons he's able to hold this match at 2-all, because if his safety wasn't as good, he would have probably gone down by now.
I must tell our viewers that Hari is not new to the sport. He's been playing at KSBA. He was one of the young, talented, I think, he finished junior top 8. And if I'm not mistaken, he finished top 4. And then he took a long break from the sport. So these things are not alien to him. That's a wonderful shot there. He's landed at and judged it perfectly. Just needs to focus now. Another 3 or 4 shots of focus. Probably land 2 colors.
Every time he makes a pot like that, he's going to increase his confidence level. There you go. He's striking that a lot better. Just when you have that pot, when it goes in, gives you a lot of confidence and also puts a lot of pressure on your opponent. Varun, watching this from his seat, is going to be worried about this situation that he finds himself in right now, with HariHaran converting these important points towards the fag end of this frame. He's got a handy lead now.
Yeah, 29 ahead. 29 is very handy.
And a good angle on this blue.
Needs to just drop right from natural angle. Should miss the ball colors.
I think if he can miss the yellow, he should be in good position. He's done well. Unfortunate to catch the brown, but that's fine. I think he's absolutely fine. Needs to just not worry about these small mistakes here. He's in good shape. Just needs to focus right now, play a good safety shot, keep the pressure on his opponent. And you can clearly see that Varun is under a lot of pressure. He has missed a few easy balls already. So HariHaran needs to keep that in mind, that his opponent is also not in his zone. So he doesn't have to worry about his opponent coming to the table and finishing the balls. That's not going to happen. So just give yourself that confidence. And I think from here, it's his match to lose.
Most definitely, you hit the nail on the head, Sasha. 34 ahead. Anybody would put their money on Hari now. And given the 2 reds have really sort of died out on the cushion, it would require an extraordinary effort to sort of get back into the game. And given that both of them lacking in confidence, they're not going to go for that kind of killer finish, in my opinion. 1 red, 1 color is what they'll be looking at. And Hari, sensing that he's ahead, is opting to play more safe than. It's an excellent shot. Maybe a couple of rolls more than he would like. It would have been a beautiful snooker and another opportunity to get in amongst the reds. Sash, you were a bit unfortunate in your game earlier. I remember you lost out on the decider and your opponent fluked the pink. And it was a very unfortunate, but...
One of those days, man. One of those days, you always look back and you think on the few mistakes that you made. If you hadn't, you would have probably finished off. So it's okay. Sometimes, it goes in your way, sometimes it doesn't. Everybody has equal opportunity when you're on the table. So we always keep saying in this game that you can't win it from your chair. So even if the opponent gets a fluke, it's because you gave him the opportunity to get on the table, right? If he wasn't on the table, you would have won the game. So it's as simple as that. When you have the opportunity, when you're on the table, you've got to finish off. And especially at our level, we need to make sure that when we have a red and few colors, when you have the colors on the table and maybe a couple of reds, you got to finish.
Absolutely. and that's my champion fellow commentator Sasha. You know, he's absolute grace even in defeat, and we all know that. We've been around, we've been playing the sport for a while, and absolutely beautifully worded there by Sash. You know, you've presented the opponent with an opportunity, and you shouldn't be kicking yourself if you fluked it. And I think at our level, at the club level, we've both been presented with plenty of opportunities. Hari just a bit lucky there, indicating that the ball may have sort of drifted away from the red. He got a thin contact. He hasn't left Varun with much. But Varun needs to focus here, not get a little reckless. He needs to concentrate. There's still plenty of time left in this frame, Sash. 4 reds. Some guys can keep. There you go. That's another reckless shot in my opinion, Sash. A little too hard for my liking.
He's a young and talented bloke, Varun. He's been in the circuit as well for the last couple of years, and he's been doing well. Varun from the Bangalore Snooker Academy, but definitely needs a little bit of input. He needs help with his game. He needs to be pointed in the right direction. He does have the skill. He does have the talent, but he needs to be, he needs to be shown the right technique sometimes in terms of safety play or the right choice of shot or ball striking even. So a lot of things to be worked on. He's done well to get to the semi-finals. He's had a good game. He's had a good run in the tournament. And Bangalore Snooker Academy as well. What a fantastic place. Absolutely. They've been producing some very, very good talented players from there. And they've definitely been instrumental in improving the quality of snooker in Bangalore in whatever way they can. And the facility is fantastic as well. We're glad that a lot of players from the Bangalore Snooker Academy have participated in our tournament, and we've got one of them here in the semi-final, but he finds himself in a spot of bother. Hari actually needs to just look at it at one ball at a time right now. All he needs to do, difficult red, just got away from him a little bit, but all he needs to do is spot one red at a time. Absolutely. And the game could be his. He's done well there. He's done well, and he's produced. He's opened up the 2 reds. But then this puts a little bit of more pressure on him because he has to now convert this blue. I feel at this stage, I think he should just play a little more freely. I know he's got the lead. Just give himself a little more confidence. He's done well there. You can evidently watch the change in his body language and his cueing action with that 30-point cushion. Absolutely. He's a lot more confident now than he was about 10 minutes back, and striking it very well there. And there's fortune also. So
almost there.
With the cue ball finishing off safe and the red ball also finishing safe, I think he's in a very, very good position now to close this match down. 40, the lead.
That's a commanding lead for
51 on the table. I think just one red away, one good pot away from winning this match, sealing a berth in the finals.
That's so true, and Hari will be looking to do just that, in my opinion. That was a loose shot there. I don't think you should be presenting Varun with these half chances at the table.
This is more than half a chance.
Yeah.
He's got 2 easy reds now. Just has to hold for the blue on the wrong side of the blue this time. Unforced errors. These are critical moments in the match. Just going to make that next red a little more difficult. He could have made it a lot easier, but that's something that you need to work on your game yourself. So this red pot, it's a crucial pot here. Just needs to make sure of the speed. It's going to head towards the bottom right pocket if he hits it too hard. He needs to be. He's okay.
With another opportunity here, maybe.
There you go.
There you go.
I think that should be the match.
That should be the match. Yes, absolutely, Sash. Because with 34 points in the lead and presenting him with such a dolly of a red in the middle pocket, if Hari can just sink any color, that would be frame ball. And 35 ahead now.
With 35 on the table.
With 35 on the table. If Hari closes out a color here, Varun's in for trouble. He's done well. Beautiful shot there. Beautiful shot there. Line up the red. Hari is going to now be playing a simple safety, in my opinion. A follow ball. Yeah.
Yeah, try to drop this red in. Doesn't have to worry about it because the opponent already needs snookers. This is a good angle to just pot in, hold for the blue. Not really going to make any damage if he misses. I think he could have gone for it, would have been better, but it's okay. He- Unless he does something really stupid from here, I don't think I can see Varun getting back into the match here with 40 points, 35 on the table, 2 snookers required. But the way the balls are positioned down the block area, they do offer a pretty good opportunity.
And that's another unforced error here from.
And he's going to leave that red as well.
Absolutely.
He is. I think he's going to shake his hands and
Hari can
maybe
just sink this red now.
so that was frame ball already, and now making it a lot more difficult for Varun. I don't see Varun coming back to the table after this with plenty of snookers required. There you go. And that's the end of the semi-final. 2 HariHaran convincingly winning the final frame. The match wasn't as comfortable as the final frame was. It was a closely fought contest, but HariHaran doing well in the final frame, wins 3-2, and he's going to be taking on Murthy M in the finals. We're going to catch you at the finals. Stay tuned.